STTM here, and in today's video, we got the NFL Week 2 recap. Now, usually I drop these on a Tuesday, but since I was busy yesterday, I'm going to drop it on the Wednesday. So, yeah, guys. But before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, put on notifications, and comment on the video. Lets me know what you think, gets me more recommended, and if you put on notifications, you will literally be alerted / updated on the newest STTM videos. So yeah, and I'll just appreciate it as STTM is out. And enough with the Japanese, and let's get straight into the video. Get it, bow! Okay, now I don't have too much to say about the Bills-Dolphins game. All I can really say is that the Dolphins season might be a little cooked because Tua is out, and, well, they're really not good against other good teams, and they have a lot of weaknesses on them. So I think the Dolphins are cooked. I don't think they're making the playoffs personally. The Tua injury, it's gonna be big for a little bit. But Bills, they look good. They look like they're repairing things. Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir actually do look like pretty decent targets so far. James Cook and Ray Davis looks like a good running back duo. Bills, they got weapons, good offense. I mean, there might be some things to improve on defense, but Josh Allen, he's looking a little bit like an MVP candidate. I like what's going on for them there. Jets versus Titans. Now this, oh no. Will Levis, we might have to do something about him. We might have to do something about Will Levis. I think this game kind of showed that we need to fix the offensive line. And by we, I'm talking about my Tennessee Titans, obviously. Aaron Rodgers, he's looked pretty good. He hasn't been like the Packers' Aaron Rodgers, but he's still been pretty good anyways. We all know Aaron Rodgers will never disappoint. He's always good. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, that's a good RB duo. Tony Pollard, he's not bad by any means. Tyjae Spears, I kind of wish he has a lot of potential on him, but I kind of wish they could get that potential more out. Garrett Wilson looked really good. Mike Williams really hasn't played that much. He really hasn't gotten much targets. Malachi Corley hasn't either, but he's not too terrible. They definitely need a tight end if literally running backs are beating you in receiving versus the Tennessee Titans. No offense. Calvin Ridley, really good game. Tyler Boyd and Chigakonkwo and Chigoziem Okonkwo were pretty good, but they definitely need to improve. Josh Weil is actually really good. It's actually not that bad as tight end too. DeAndre Hopkins might be a little washed. Overall, I'd say the Titans could definitely have played better. I don't think they're going to do so well versus the Packers next week, though. Raiders, Ravens. Oh, my God, that field goal right there. Daniel Carlson, he was clutch. And Gardner Minshew actually isn't terrible. He's like one of the top guys in passing yards across all the quarterbacks in the league. He's actually beating some notable names. Derrick Henry proved that 29 is not the retirement age for running back. And so did Alvin Kamara with the Saints down there when they destroyed the Cowboys. But overall, you get where I'm coming from. Ravens, really talented team as always. Devontae Adams kind of he actually might need to be traded. Saints, Cowboys. Okay, Dak Prescott, last game in week 1, literally proved that why he should have got that contract. But now he really shouldn't have had. Derek Carr, he's coming back. He might be comeback player of the year. Or Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield will also make a somewhat decent option for that thing. Rico Dowdle, I don't really like him that much, to be honest. Cowboys need a running back. Saints don't have to worry about that. Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams is a decent duo there. Receiving, this core is amazing. Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. Whew, that duo is going crazy. Jalen Tolbert actually looks pretty good today. Wow, Jalen Tolbert actually was one of the top guys. Luke Schoonmaker, he's good. He's actually a decent tight end. He actually is a decent second tight end for them. This is actually a decent team. Brandon Cooks despite 9.5 as an average, he might be headed a little bit more to the washed zone since Jalen Tolbert and Luke Schoonmaker literally beat him in week 2. He might be headed a little bit there, but he's still a good player. No, either way. Eric Kendricks, great season. Saints defense was actually balling versus the Cowboys, though. Only held a team with guys like CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and Dak Prescott. Well, Jake Ferguson was hurt, but still, CeeDee Lamb's a really good quarterback, and Dak Prescott is a little bit too. Despite the 2 picks, he's still pretty good. Buccaneers actually beat the Lions. Okay, now that's a team. Jared Goff, despite throwing for over 300 yards, couldn't get a single passing touchdown off. Bro, this game was crazy. Baker Mayfield falling out once again. Typical Baker performance in 2024. Never thought you would hear me saying that, but yeah, you just heard that. Khalif Raymond, actually not too bad, believe it or not. Might be a receiver 3, although I'm probably going to mock the Lions taking a receiver 3 like an Evan Stewart, Isaiah Bond, or Emeka Egbuka if available. Servo Dennis is definitely stepping up for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers actually have a really good defense despite them being more of an offensive kind of team. Bucky Irving and Rachaad White, running back duo, if I'm going to be honest. They both got their decent handful of playing time. Jahmyr Gibbs looked really good. David Montgomery did too. Lions defense also really good. Colts and the Packers. To be honest, I actually thought the Colts were going to win this game, as I predicted that on my community tab, which you should check out, by the way. They actually lost this game, which I'm pretty shocked about, if I'm going to be honest. Like, Anthony Richardson, despite him he's actually looked not bad. He has a little bit of a picks problem, but despite that, aside from that, he's been pretty good. Like, Josh Jacobs, Romeo Doubs, like Packers offense is loaded, especially when Jordan Love gets back. It's gonna be something else once Jordan Love comes back. EJ Speed and Zaire Franklin probably playing really well, probably fixed the big linebacker concern I had for the Colts. O-line's really good. It has Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly on it, so you're already set. So I'm kind of shocked why Anthony Richardson has been doing too well, but I don't really know. He's young. He has thrown a lot of touchdowns as well, but he's also thrown a lot of picks. If he gets more accurate in the offseason, all he needs is accuracy and he'll be set. Same with Caleb Williams. Bryce Young, I think his career is kind of cooked at this point. I don't really know because there were some really good quarterbacks in the Hall, that are just known to be some of the best in history. Bryce Young's obviously not going to be that, but yeah. For example, a lot of really good ones had terrible rookie seasons and then just ended up becoming good eventually. Last year I was clowning Sam Darnold. Now he's actually not that bad. He's actually not that bad of a quarterback right now. Same thing with Baker Mayfield when he stepped into Tampa. And Geno Smith, I'd say Geno Smith is probably the best example of you could really improve whenever. Another example of this, I'm going to say, actually, I don't really know another example of this, to be honest. Oh, J.K. Dobbins on the Chargers. Boom. That's actually another good example of this season. That's a good example. Vikings upset the 49ers. They're good despite no Jordan Addison, no Justin Jefferson, no JJ. Sam Darnold's not even the real starting quarterback. He's actually looked kind of decent, though. Seahawks beat the Patriots. Honestly, not shocked. Geno, my boy, he's amazing. Seahawks receiving core is actually really good. Jackson Smith and Jigba's getting it together. Tyler Lockett actually still has it. Commanders beat Giants. Jaden Daniels is literally the definition of throws a lot of yards but no touchdowns. He's literally looked like that, which I'm not. At least he looked good. He's looked really good. So I'll take it, but he just needs the touchdowns, Brian Robinson Jr. has definitely been better than Austin Eckler for sure. Austin Eckler for a 29-year-old running back actually isn't too bad, but Brian Robinson Jr. seems to be the better rusher. Giants, despite being a horrendous football team, I actually love that wide receiver duo with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson. It's actually really talented, to be honest here. Chargers, Panthers. Despite what's going on with Carolina, they actually have a pretty decent. They actually have a decent team. This might be considered Bryce Young's fault. I don't really know about the whole situation. It's giving me mixed ideas of it, but yeah, it's just giving me mixed ideas pretty much. Justin Herbert, Chargers defense actually is a little more healthy than I thought it would be. They're not as injury prone as I've been seeing. Browns beat the Jags. Honestly, I'm not shocked here. Browns are a good team. Deshaun Watson, he's looked terrible, even in week 2. Trevor Lawrence, he's actually a decent quarterback. I think he gets a little too much hate. Brian Thomas, though, Jags offense is really good. I'm just kind of surprised that they're only 0-2, but I think eventually, I think they'll figure it out. We're literally only 2 weeks in the season. Literally, all the teams only played 2 games, but this is just what I'm expecting based off these 2 games. Rams, Cardinals. Cardinals might not be as bad as we thought. They might actually be surprising us a little bit. Marvin Harrison Jr., my opinion, offensive rookie of the year. Malik Neighbors could probably come in a close second for me. Rams, despite giving up 41 points, I actually like this team a lot. I mean, they're probably not going to make the playoffs again because I'd say they're going to get held back a tiny bit because Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp out. But they actually have decent receivers. They actually have a really good core aside from them. It's good, but I don't think it's going to be too special. But it's just good. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael. Actually, how has Michael Wilson looked? All honesty, how has Michael Wilson looked? Let's see. Michael Wilson, he's pretty much been like one of their top targets. Yeah, he's good. Trey McBride, good tight end. Elijah Higgins actually hasn't looked too bad either. Greg Dortch. I think Trey Benson eventually could take over. I mean, literally 10 yards for 11 carries, so he's not looking too amazing right now. But I'd say he'll get developed eventually. Steelers beat Broncos. Yeah, not a shocker here. Najee Harris has looked amazing despite sharing with Jalen Warren now officially. Justin Fields actually isn't too bad. Bengals, Chiefs, well, yeah, figures. I mean, Chiefs offense is getting a little weird because like Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy have actually became a little bit more of passing targets to Mahomes compared to Travis Kelce. So there's that. I actually do like the Chiefs defense a lot, and same with the Rams. I like that team. Their defense actually has some good young studs on it. Chiefs, they have some really good players like George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, and Nick Bolton. They tear it up on the front seven. Ooh, they get to the quarterback, take him down. Exactly. They're like those guys that will lead the whole defense in tackles. They will command them. They start up the plays. They take what Coach Andy Reid gets them to. They take it. Like, honestly, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but if I were, I would be pretty sad if any three of those players would eventually end up just getting like walked out in free agency, like not extended at all, or just traded to. Like, they should never do that. Bears, Texans. Yeah, Caleb Williams doesn't look too good in rookie year. I mean, like, he's actually different though because most rookie quarterbacks really have absolutely nothing. Like Bryce Young last year. I mean, he had some stuff, but still, horrendous team. And Trevor Lawrence in his first year of football. And Joe Burrow a little bit too. But no, this is different. This is actually different. Like, Caleb Williams has DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze, despite not getting too much playing time compared to the other two receivers. He's actually looked good. And he has DeAndre Swift as his running back, who's actually not bad. Despite stats, he actually looks good. There are some players in the league where stats do not replicate them at all, and I think DeAndre Swift is low-key one of those guys. Falcons, Eagles, clutch game. Kirk Cousins, bought out. Darnell Mooney might actually be redeeming himself after that horrendous Hail Mary drop versus the Cleveland Browns last year when he was on the Bears. And if you know that play, then you know. Bijan Robinson, good running back. Tyler Algier, really underrated as an RB2. So, yeah, that is STTM's Week 2 recap. We went through all the games. We mentioned some key takeaways from each of them, So, yeah. Also, Quinn Miners is a really good offensive guard. He's a really good guy at the right guard. Must recommend watching some of his highlights. But, yeah. Also, little spoiler, Eagles O-line actually is still pretty decent after Jason Kelce retirement. So, yeah. Those are just final two takeaways I have. STTM is now out. See y'all next time. Road to 500 subs!